How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, time to get that imagination all cranked up, get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Denis Bodart. And if you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He is a beautiful concept artist and character designer, illustrator, and just overall imaginative and creative visionary extraordinaire. I really like his work. He blends a mix of more illustrative art with some cartoon sensibilities that really is such a very wonderful style. I really like that. Like I said, you can see that there's some really strong anatomy and posing and structure with his character work, but also he brings some of those over-exaggerated expressions and really poignant posing that you'd see in more vintage cartoons. I really like his stuff. I think he's a wonderful, wonderful character artist, and really encourage you guys to go check out some of his stuff. I will throw a link in the description below. But I did want to share a quote, and this was actually what got me to look at more of his stuff. I saw this quote, and I just thought it was great. Look at this. This is just phenomenal. And I always like when they leave a little bit of the blue pencil behind. I find myself attracted more and more to rougher work than really polished stuff, and I think he's got, and by rougher I don't mean that it's poorly done, but I mean that you leave some of the construction in your illustration work. I find that I'm drawn more to that, and I really like that style where you see a little bit of the blue line or the red line or the original sketch underneath. I really love that. But I do want to share this quote with you guys, and that was no tips, no hints, never. Find your own way. Go your own way. Do what you want and what you like. And I thought that was great, and it really harkens back to kind of the meat of why I wanted to share this stuff with you guys each and every day, because it's not about this is how to do it in the only way, or this is the your how-to or your one-way instructional guide. And that's why I never structured these videos like this. These are more just hopefully to encourage you guys and inspire you guys to go off every day and create something. And this is kind of the method I'm using right now, and chances are a year from now I'll have a different method. And I've studied a lot of other methods of working, and this is just kind of the workflow that's most comfortable for me, and I want you guys to find that stuff as well. And the same thing goes with my illustration work. That's always, I'm always trying to push that and change that and tweak that. And it's not to say that not to pay attention to other people who have gone before you and done great things that you like, but just because they give you their one magical tip or their 12 or 15 golden principles that everything needs, that the realization is that it's going to be your hard work and the things that you remember and the things that work for you, that can work within the time frame and the energy levels that you have and the structure you're given for that. And just to find your own way and go your own way, and always be looking, and I think it's important to read other people's notes and hints and tips and tricks, but to realize that in your own methodology, in your own workflows, you're going to find the things that work for you. And sometimes it's going to be, well, it's always going to be kind of an amalgamation of all the things that you've read. And that's why I challenge you guys to go off and read more, or watch more videos, or look at other people's work more and more, and not to copy that. Maybe you want to sometimes, but to really just to glom onto. I really like the way this guy does his hands, and I really like the way this guy does his weight shifts, or I really like this guy's sharp timing, or his really nice posing, or find what it is that you like about all these different people. Like with his work, like I said, I find that his styling choices right here of doing something that you've got these really structural drawings underneath, and a nice kind of cartoony overlay almost to it, which really blends really nicely, and that's what I really like about his work. I feel like there's that good blending in there. But that being said, let's go ahead and get into some animation. This is the Swarm rig. It's a free rig you can grab. I'm gonna pause this real quick just so I make sure I get the name right, because it's not from our usual spot here. It's from Darmin Doshi's blog, and I will throw a link in the description below. And if you're not familiar with what we do here, we'll give ourselves about 48 frames. I think it's going to be a little bit different for today with the idea I have. go off and find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with as well. And we kind of go from there, a little bit of over the shoulder, hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of talking through the process or discussing something in the creative or imaginative world in general. And we kind of just go from there. Hopefully, like we mentioned earlier, the main goal of these videos is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you guys to go off and create something wonderfully unique and creative of your own. So that being said, let's go ahead and get in here and let's start playing around. What I was thinking for this one is we do a jump from a kind of flat position to more of a horizontal position. I thought that would be kind of fun to try out and do with you guys today. So let's get our basic scene set up. And let's straighten that down here. Move that over. And bring it in a little bit more. Bring that over. And bring that over there. And let's zero that out. Let's zero that out. That out. Right over. Bring it back. And this guy, let's zero him out again. And yeah. So again, we'll go from this position to being planted up here. And I think that'll be fun to play around with. So let's come up with a more interesting pose. Let's turn everything off except for our NURB curves, our NURB surfaces, and our polygons, and hide our grid here. And let's see, we might need to move that in a little bit more because we want to keep it tight enough camera that we can see all the movement. So probably something like this would be our basic layout. And yeah, let's find a more interesting pose here. Do something kind of like that. And do we have a rotation here? Not really. There we go. Oh, it just does that. We don't have any rotation on the body itself. This could be more difficult. So what we'll have to do is really do it with this controller here to get that. Alright, it's okay. Otherwise I don't think there's a rotate for any other parts of this body, right? Okay, well we'll have to come up with an interesting solution to that. But let's go ahead and start with a pose kind of like that. Before we do that though, let's also lift these guys up just to do something a little more interesting with them. Okay, and let's check these guys. Okay, just so there's some variation. Probably not going to see that really, so I'm not going to focus too much on that. And let's set our frame range just from 0 to 40. It's going to be kind of an arbitrary number. Probably be a little bit shorter, a little bit longer. Not really set in stone. Probably be around this frame range still. And let's go ahead and grab everything and save our file. We are using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. Remember to always save multiple versions and to save often, because you never know what can come about. And let's go ahead and bring this down. Get our kind of anticipation here. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a step back here. Back there. Okay. Then I'll also rotate that head up a little bit to kind of look where it would be going next. Make sure we keep that zeroed out. And we'll go ahead and bring that back down a little bit. And this would be kind of our anticipation pose for the jump. And we'll go ahead and set that. And then remember, we're going to have to use this one for our main move. So we're going to go ahead and just plant it up since we don't really have a rotate for anything else. And rotate that, let's see, over here in X at -90 Normally I wouldn't use the main unit control just because it's a little bit different for how I want to do it, but you gotta use what you got, you know? So let's see. Just kind of looking at the overall timing of it, and it's way too slow, so I'm still gonna keep it. So let's get our animation editor, graph editor here, and let's cut out 2 frames from it. It's still probably too long, but let's see. It feels more like this side is taking too long, so let's cut 2 frames out from there. Still feels a little too slow, so let's go there. Alright, the ending feels a little too long, so let's see. Now what I want to do is I want to grab these feet here and leave them planted nice if we had some rotate, but we don't, so I gotta use what we got here. Let's go and delete that one, too. Keep back up a little bit more. Would still be going down here. And hit here. So we get kind of a little bit of arc there. So we want that one. You go delete that. Set that one. We'll set there. Go here. Let's go delete that. Swing back. And set that there. Alright. Still got a ways to go here. So we want it to swing down and up. And this should still be kind of here. Let's get rid of the translate Z's again. Just get the up and down working. There. Bring that back up. Okay. Alright. So I want to keep this back there for a couple more frames. I'm trying to match it up as close as we can so we don't really get too much movement in there. We want to keep that one back and up. Let's see. Lift it up a little bit. There we go. And I'll hold that for a couple of frames. And let's watch it now. So we keep that 1 foot down a little bit more. Now one thing I'm noticing is the back feet kind of intersect through the ground. So let's take the translate Y's and make them 0 there so they actually don't intersect through the ground. And I'm going to take this and I'm just going to make this a little step. So hold that, raise that up. And that should hit at about 5. Just a quick little step. So let's lower that down a little bit. Maybe it's 6. Let's look at this foot. We'll hold it there. Still feels like it has too much hang time. So let's grab everything here. Let's just cut a frame out of here. It's like maybe the translate Z needs to be a little more direct and less slow in to there. We can slow out a little bit. Let's see. Still think I want the translate Y to be a little bit higher here. Let's delay it another frame for that. Yeah, because this should just be higher. Just the arc of it. So let's have it go up a little bit higher here. We'll just hold the up a little bit more. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at our translate Z. Let's make that a little bit further so it kind of hits a little bit harder. Let's see. Now, why does it feel like we tweaked with the hips? That's why it feels like these feet are a little more messed up there. So let's redo those. And I should have known better. Should have locked in those hips a little bit tighter before I worried about the feet too much. It's still okay. Let's look at this one. And push it there. And this one needs to move up there. this guy. Set it there. And set that there. We'll go up. It might be too much. And let's go down. Back. Let's see. And this should be about 1 frame shorter. We'll go here. Do a little bit of bounce and recoil there. Let's see. Bring that back again. Bring that there. Let's see. And I feel like this right here should be higher a little bit. And this needs to be about a frame sooner. This could be a little bit back there. Let's see. let's see if we can clean that up a little bit more. Alright, let's see if that feels a little better. Alright, now let's scale it back a little bit more. So it does feel a little over the top. Yeah, let's see how that feels. This, I feel like I need to move forward one more frame. So let's take this, and we delete that one. And that should hit like the frame after that, so it's really heavy. Let's see that now. Let's look here. Just so you can get a little bit of movement through there. Let's take this foot, set it there, delete that one. There's a little bit of bumpiness in there. Set that. Go ahead, leave that a little bit further. Try and get a decent path of action if we can through that foot. Alright, now let's look at this one again. Translate Y here. Just to get a good path of action there. Set that. And let's go crouch that down even further. Let's see. It just feels like the spacing feels a little too even there. So let's keep it down even further there. Let's watch that now. Maybe we could just delete a frame in there instead. Because I like that change of position from if we just got rid of frame 13. We just went straight from 12 to 14. And then we watch that. So let's see here. just get rid of everything there that we have. Set everything there, set everything there, delete this, and move it forward one frame. Let's see. See if that still feels good. And then we can hold this for another couple of frames. I still feel like the top should be the translate Y here. Should be like a frame later. Let's see it again. Just trying to get a little more of an arc there. That feels a little better. Let's see. All right, let's watch it again. Still feel like we could probably hold this for another about 2 frames. And that should push us back to about 56 frames. 53. And maybe we'll give ourselves another frame here as well. Let's delay that original movement by a frame just to vary it up a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, let's look at the head. Let's go ahead and save our file while we're working on here. Make sure we're still recording there. Okay. Let's rotate it up even higher there. Bring it down, and up, and down, and back up. Alright, probably too much, but let's see. Feels like it should be about 2 frames later. It should be a little bit more around the neutral side. Yeah, it's probably too much. We'll just do a little teeny bit of this. Yeah, push it forward a little bit. Again, I'm not going to be worried too much about these. It's just going to add a little bit of life to there. So let's go ahead and grab these guys. And let's go ahead and go down a little bit further. Here, I'm going to flick them up. Flick her up here. Better do each one individually, but that's okay. Kind of end up similar to where we started with them. And let's keep it swung up a little bit. And then I'll go down, and up, and down, and back up. Okay. And let's look at the other side here. And we'll keep it swung up there. And down there. And up there. Down there. And back again. Okay. So let's take a look at this again. Alright, I feel like that's working alright. We got a little stutter step and anticipation, jumps over and flops down. We've got some weight there, and a little bit of recoil, and we've got a little bit of variation in the feet or the legs there. Yeah, I feel like that's working. We could definitely tweak it and play around with it for a little bit. Probably another hour or so polishing it up, but I feel like that works for today. So let's take a look back at where we started. We were looking at the beautiful work of Denis Bodart, and he said, "No tips, no hints, never. Find your own. Go your own way. Do what you want and what you like." And I wanted to talk just a second. I didn't feel like I talked about it in the beginning about doing what you want and what you like. And I think it's important to follow your passion projects and not just work on other people's stuff or do stuff that you think is mainstream or whatever, but do the stuff that you truly believe in, because I feel like that's the stuff where you're going to give it your extra hour or two to polish it up that you might not for other people's stuff, because you want it just so, you know, the way that you imagined it. And that's why it's important to follow your imagination and utilize it as much as you can in your own creativity, because if you can try and match that, you know, that's, no one else can, you can't really get inside someone else's head to deliver what they want. You can try and everything, but the things that are going to be the most successful, I think, are things where, you know, your creative projects, your passion projects, those things that you truly believe in, that are the things that you want to come to life and come to fruition. And the real struggle with that, I guess, would just be staying motivated and staying enthusiastic and encouraged in those projects and inspired. So hopefully you guys took another step in your journey each and every day to pursue the mastery of the medium that you guys are encouraged about or excited about. And I love you guys lots. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. And that being said, I guess that wraps it up for today. So we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.